Have you ever wondered why billionaires often try to look poor? Yes, you heard that right. It's a curious paradox, isn't it? You work your whole life to make a fortune, and then when you finally have it, you try to disguise it. This is a phenomenon we like to call poverty peacocking. It's a peculiar trend among the wealthiest echelons of society, a strategic move that's more than just a fashion statement. It's about personal branding, about crafting a relatable image. It's about billionaires, those with more money than they could ever spend trying to look like they're just like you and me. They're trading in their Armani suits and Rolex watches for thrift store finds and off-brand timepieces. But why? What's the endgame here? Is it just a trend, or is there a deeper strategy at play? Are they really giving up their luxuries, or is it all just a facade? And if it is a facade, who is it for? Now, isn't that an intriguing thought to ponder? Let's dive deep into this paradox and see what we can uncover. It's time to delve deeper into this fascinating concept known as poverty peacocking. Picture this: billionaires and top-tier executives, those who own private jets and multiple sprawling estates, investing in public relations agencies to portray themselves as your average Joe. Sounds a bit counterintuitive, doesn't it? But there's a method to the madness. This trend of humble CEOs and frugal billionaires, believe it or not, is hot property among investors. It's like a seal of approval, a badge of trust. You see, research indicates that executives who flaunt their frugality are less likely to engage in fraudulent activities. They're seen as more reliable, more grounded, and more likely to run their businesses with the same level of thriftiness. So here's the deal. These billionaires aren't really giving up their luxuries. No, they're still cruising in their yachts and flying in their private jets. They're just not telling us about it. They're carefully curating an image of modesty and simplicity, a stark contrast to the opulence we'd associate with their wealth. But why? Why go through all this trouble? It's simple, really. People buy relatability. By presenting themselves as relatable as just one of us, these billionaires can boost their company's image and make us feel more comfortable investing in their ventures. It's a clever marketing tactic, a subtle sales pitch, but it goes even deeper than that. This portrayal of frugality by the wealthy reinforces the belief that personal financial problems are caused by overspending, diverting attention from the larger issue at hand: income inequality. It's a deflection, a diversion, a masterful play of perception. So, beneath the humble facade, it's all a strategic move, isn't it? But wait, there's more to this strategy than meets the eye. Let's dive a bit deeper and explore the undercurrents of this phenomenon. You see, these billionaires aren't just trying to look like your average Joe for the fun of it. There's a carefully calculated strategy at play here, one that is as intriguing as it is effective. Picture this. You're scrolling through your social media feed and you stumble upon a picture of a billionaire CEO, sporting a plain tee and jeans, just like you and me. It's a refreshing sight, isn't it? Suddenly, this billionaire isn't just a face on a Forbes list, but someone you could potentially have a coffee with. That's relatability right there, in its most potent form. Relatability, dear listeners, is the secret sauce to this strategy. It's the magic ingredient that makes you feel a connection with these billionaires. Because at the end of the day, we humans are social creatures. We're wired to gravitate towards those we can relate to, those who mirror our own experiences and emotions. And it's not just about making you feel warm and fuzzy inside. This relatability translates into some very tangible benefits for the billionaires and their companies. When you see these billionaires as regular folks, you're more likely to have a positive perception of their companies. After all, if the person at the helm is just like us, surely the company they run must be on our side too, right? Wrong. This is where the power of perception comes into play. The way these billionaires present themselves shapes our perception of their companies. The more relatable they seem, the more positively we view their companies. And a positive company image can do wonders. It can boost stocks, attract investors, and even increase customer loyalty. The art of appearing normal is therefore not just a harmless trend. It's a powerful sales tactic, a masterstroke of PR that's changing the way we perceive billionaires and their businesses. Thus, the billionaire next door isn't as regular as they seem. They're not just playing the part, they're playing the game, and they're playing it well. There's a ripple effect to this illusion, causing quite an impact. You see, when billionaires and executives parade their supposed frugality, they're not just playing dress-up. Their actions send a powerful message, one that's subtly altering our perception of wealth and poverty. This portrayal of frugality by the wealthy reinforces a belief that's already deeply ingrained in many of us, that personal financial problems are caused by overspending. Now let's take a step back and think about it. If the rich and powerful with all their resources are being careful with their spending, shouldn't we, the ordinary folks, do the same? The narrative becomes about individual responsibility and prudent financial management rather than systemic flaws and income inequality. But here's the kicker. This narrative conveniently diverts our attention from the larger issue, the elephant in the room, if you will, income inequality. While we're busy applauding billionaires for their frugal ways and trying to emulate them, we're not questioning why the wealth gap is widening every year. We're not asking why a small percentage of people hold a large chunk of the world's wealth while the majority are struggling to make ends meet. It's a clever strategy, isn't it? By appearing to live like one of us, billionaires subtly shift the focus from the systemic issues that allow them to accumulate and maintain their wealth. It's an illusion, a magic trick, and we're all falling for it. But remember, an illusion only works as long as you believe in it. Once you see through it, the magic is gone. That's why it's important to question, to dig deeper, to look beyond the surface, because the truth is often hidden in plain sight. So it's not just about appearing poor, but shifting the focus from the larger issue of income inequality. But there's another side to this coin, a power play. Beneath the surface of the billionaire's humble attire, there's a calculated game of chess taking place. You see, by portraying themselves as just one of us, billionaires cleverly deflect attention from the stark income inequality that exists. They successfully divert the spotlight from the glaring fact that they possess wealth that could potentially transform the lives of their workers. Instead, they use this humble facade to maintain control. Consider this scenario. A billionaire CEO dressed in an inexpensive hoodie addresses his employees who are struggling to make ends meet. The CEO's humble appearance sends a subtle message: "See, I'm not spending extravagantly, I'm just like you." This perceived frugality makes it difficult for employees to demand better wages or improved working conditions. After all, how can you ask for more money from a boss who seems to live just as frugally as you do? Moreover, this portrayal of frugality reinforces the belief that personal financial problems are caused by overspending, rather than systemic income inequality. It subtly shifts the blame from the system to the individual, averting any substantial criticism or demand for change. It's a clever diversion, isn't it? This power play is not just about maintaining the status quo, it's about reinforcing it. By appearing to embrace the same financial constraints as their employees, billionaires effectively silence any demands for change. They project an image of shared struggle when in reality, their wealth continues to multiply. But, remember, it's all an illusion. A carefully crafted act designed to maintain control and keep the wealth in the hands of the few. So the next time you see a billionaire dressed in a simple t-shirt and jeans, remember the power play at work. It's not just about appearing relatable or boosting a company's image, it's about maintaining control, reinforcing the status quo, and keeping the wealth firmly in their hands. So the humble attire serves more than just PR, it's a tool of control. Quite a revelation, isn't it? We've delved into the paradoxical world where billionaires strive to look like the average Joe. This trend, known as poverty peacocking, is not just about fashion statements or frugality. It's a meticulously crafted PR strategy aimed at boosting personal brands and company images. We've also explored how this illusion of modesty perpetuates misconceptions about personal financial problems and income inequality. It's a deflection tactic, shifting the blame onto overspending rather than acknowledging the wider issue of wealth disparity. Moreover, this humble persona serves another purpose. It's a power play, maintaining control over workers by deflecting demands for better wages and working conditions. It's the art of appearing relatable while sitting atop a fortune. So, next time you see a billionaire in a hoodie, remember, there's more than meets the eye. Delve beneath the surface, question the narrative, and understand the strategies at play. And of course, remember to subscribe for more eye-opening content.